Hey everybody, this is going to be another one of my random videos about a random topic that I come across and decide to do, kind of like my old Roomba video that I did a few months ago. So we are planning on heading out for vacation in a couple days, and in preparation for that, what I did is I wanted to make sure that we could take some fresh fruit on the plane, and so I started checking around to see what the requirements are, the restrictions are, and bringing fruit on the plane. And I ended up stumbling across the TSA website uh, that had information about what is allowed, what you are allowed and not allowed to bring on plane in terms of carry on and checked baggage and everything. And I was able to find that indeed we are allowed to bring fresh fruit on the plane, either as carry on or as checked luggage or checked in the checked baggage. So that's fine. But in starting to look at that, I also discovered that there are some really, it's a really extensive list of what you are allowed and not allowed and to bring on the plane as indicated by the TSA. And so I started scrolling through it and finding some of the things, and I thought it was kind of amusing in some cases. And so what I'm going to do in this video is we're going to take a look through the TSA website on what can you bring on the plane. Now, just before we get started here and everything like that, and I'll go to the computer, or you can watch the computer and everything like that. Just to let you know that there are certain guidelines that you're gonna see that are gonna come up overall all the time. You know the rules against liquids, and that liquids have to be less than 100 milliliters in order to be carried on. Otherwise, you have to check them. 100 milliliters or 3.4 ounces, and so we're all used to bringing our little bottles of everything on the plane for carry-on luggage and stuff like that. And so a lot of the guidelines that you're going to see are going to be in that way, that they're just going to say, you're going to see restrictions for the carry-ons because, these are liquids, and so they treat them as liquids, and so you'll see that along the way. And of course, there are other things. The main thing you're going to see, firearms are never going to be allowed as carry-on. Anything that's a weapon is never going to be a carry-on. That's always going to, but you can usually you can check those and put those into your check baggage. But the interesting thing are when you see the exceptions. What are the things that you can carry on that you didn't expect to, or wouldn't necessarily think about, or what are the things that you are not allowed to even bring through checked luggage and stuff like that. And so the next few videos you're going to do, so this is a 3-part series, and so this is video 1. And so with that, let's take a look at things you can bring on the plane. Okay, so let's see what we can all bring on our trip, and we can bring it on the plane. So this is from the TSA website here, so the official TSA website. Hey, just a disclaimer, as it says on the TSA website, the final decision rests with the TSA officer on whether items allowed through the checkpoint, which means they can turn you down for anything they want. They can confiscate anything you want, regardless of what it says on the list, like here. All right, so let's go and see what are some of the things we can do. Aerosol insecticide. Now, this is insecticide. We'll get to bug spray later, I think, but insecticides, aerosol insecticides are not allowed in the carry-on, but you can bring it through a checked baggage, but not if it's listed as hazardous materials, so be careful with that. Your air mattress is allowed as long as it's not too big, so it depends on how big it is. It has to be able to fit in an overhead bin, I'm sure. Makeup machine, yeah, you see a lot of that type of stuff. Alcoholic beverages, hey, you can bring alcoholic beverages either on carry-on and check-out. You can do that. 3.4 ounces, that means you can't bring a can of beer. Okay, we got that. But you can put that through your check bag. On the other hand, the hard stuff, no, you can't bring any of the hard stuff on. Nope, not in the carry-on, not in anything. Even because you can bring one of the little miniature bottles, right, like that. But not anything, no Everclear, all right? Yeah. Ammunition, of course not. Anything that goes boom, that's not going to be allowed through. Antlers, hey, you can bring the antlers. So you go to Yellowstone, you find some antlers, you can bring them through. You can bring them on carry-on, you can check them. That's all right. Antlers are just fine. Fake antlers, yeah, you could do that too. Anything artificial skeleton bones. There's a reason it's on the list. That's the amazing thing about this, right? That's always fun. There must be a reason there. Axes and hatchets, of course not. Oh, so what do we got next? Baby stuff. Oh yeah, can't have a problem with baby stuff. Baby formula. We're going to see this with breast milk when it comes up later. They're allowed in reasonable quantities. Of course, this is where the problem comes in because TSA always gets to determine what constitutes a reasonable quantity. But yeah, you can bring lots of baby stuff on there. Includes baby food, baby powder, baby wipes. You can bring balloons. There you go. That's always good. Bang snaps. Now, then what are you thinking about there? Those little snapping things that you throw on the ground on 4th of July. Nope, can't bring any of that. Anything fireworks we're going to see. That's not going to happen. Baseball bats. Can't bring them as carry-on. Can't bring them as check bags. Actually, I had that issue a couple years ago. We were in Durham, North Carolina, and we had gone to a minor league baseball game, and I had gotten one of these little miniature souvenir bats as a premium for one of the activities that we did, and tried to bring that through the airport, and they would not allow us to bring that on the plane on the carry-on bags. We had to check it. Of course, we were traveling light, and so we didn't have any check bags, and so there was no way to do that, and so TSA confiscated my miniature baseball bat. Balls themselves are okay though. BB guns, gotta check them. There we go. What do we got next? Bear bangers and bear spray. I thought it said beer bongers the first time I saw that, and I was like, beer bongs? No, okay. No, bear bangers and bear spray. These are apparently things to keep the bears away. So bear spray, this is actually one of the problems that we had. We're going to Yellowstone, and so my wife had a great idea that she's going to get some bear spray before we go. And then we discovered that we cannot bring bear spray on the plane. Of course, bear spray is available inside Yellowstone Park at the gift shop. I think it's a scam set up by TSA and the National Park Service in order to sell bear spray at the park instead. But yeah, so we are stuck. We have some bear spray. Anybody wants some? You can have our bear spray because we don't have a use for it because we can't take it to Yellowstone with us. Bicycle chains. There you go. Hey, if you're bringing a bike, you might as well bring a bicycle chain. In fact, bikes. Some airlines apparently will allow bikes in carry-on. Boy, you talk about something pretty annoying. I think in this case, what it's going to talk about is going to be gate checked. And when we get to car seats, baby car seats, that's going to be a thing there too. I wonder if they can let you do that through gate check if you've got a bicycle or something like that. Billy Club, that's like my little miniature bat that I got from the ball game. I don't know what blackjacks are, but apparently they're weapons, and so you can't do it. And of course, you can bring a blanket because you won't want to use the airline blanket, that's for sure. So you can bring your own. No blasting caps, but you can bring a blender. Hey, there you go. Margaritas on board the ship or on board the plane. Oh, but you gotta take the blade out. Oh man, now that takes all the fun out of it. So now more margaritas, I guess. Blood sugar test kits. As we're gonna see that medical equipment can really go. Bocce balls. Hey, I need to bring my bocce balls on vacation. I can bring it on carry-on. There you go. We have a set of bocce balls. In fact, yes, we do. Books require extra screening sometimes, depending on what you're doing. So yeah, you can do that. Hey, you can bring a bottle opener. So that is allowed. Hey, you can even bring your bowling ball. So there you go. Bocce balls are nothing. Bring my bowling ball next time. Bowling ball, yes. Bowling pin, no. You can imagine that's just like a club, so there's no way that you can bring a bowling pin on there. Box cutters, I think that game is past, isn't it? Yeah, no way. Boxing gloves, however, you can bring. There you go. Brass instruments, I think that's going to depend on the size of the instrument, right? I mean, certainly you can't bring a tuba, but maybe you could bring your tenor sax. I don't know. Maybe it's small enough that you could actually do it. Bring boxing gloves, but no brass knuckles. That's it. Okay, sorry about that. Bread, hey, that's good. We're in Hawaii. We brought bought some Hawaiian bread at the flea market and brought that home and ate it on the plane. In fact, you could bring a bread machine and make your bread on the plane. Got 3.5 hours. There you go. Breast milk, once again, reasonable quantities, and so that's always up to the discretion of TSA to determine what constitutes reasonable quantities. Bug repellent. Yeah, we talked about insect repellent earlier, insecticides. Bug repellent, yeah, that's just treat that like a liquid. Butane, that's combustible. Butane curling irons. I did not know that there was such thing as butane curling irons. Can't stow the butane away, but you can actually curl your hair on the plane. Camp stoves. Now the key here is that's going to be empty to fuel and clean those, so no fuel vapors reside or remain. That's always going to be an important thing. Anything combustible, if they open that up and smell, they can smell kerosene, you're out at that point. Good thing you can take candy, canes, of course. If you need a cane, be really, really cruel of them to deny you the ability to do that. No canoe paddles on board, but you can check it. Same with cap guns. Car parts. Yeah, you can bring car parts. I don't think you could probably bring a battery. I don't think I'd want to try that, but you can bring a lot of things, but they can't be free of gasoline and oil. That's as usual in that respect. Cast iron cookware, yeah. It's like, darn it, I can't bring my cast iron frying pan on board, or not even my skillet. What if I wanted to make pancakes on the plane? I could use my cast iron skillet for that. No, you can't. Can't bring that on, Paul. Sorry to go. If you break your arm, you can still get on the plane because you can bring a cast along with that, but not a cattle prod. Okay, that's a good one. What about a taser? We'll see if that one's coming up. We'll see that in the later part of this one. I doubt you can bring a taser on board. Cell phone, cereal, chapstick. Cream cheese is considered a liquid. Solid cheese is considered a solid. Car seats, yeah. You can bring car seat for carry-on. Actually, we've done both ways on this side. We've actually... So most normally what you do when they get older is that you can gate check them but when kids were little, we used to get them their own seat, and then we would use a car seat. But what they always made us do is that make sure that the car seat is next to the window, and that's for safety, so that you don't have to trip over a car seat when you're trying to exit the plane and things like that. But yeah, you can bring car seats on board, and we've done that. Chlorine, no, that's an oxidizer. That's not going to be good. Chocolate, liquid chocolate, that's a liquid. Solid chocolate, that's a solid. Christmas lights, oh, glad we can bring our Christmas lights. Cigar cutters, those are those little round ones, right? And so apparently they are supposed to be allowed. On the other hand, they can be confiscated, so you might not want to try that. CO2 cartridges, anytime you're going to talk about compressed gases, TSA is going to be very concerned about it. On the other hand, if you have cartridge for a life vest, that's a pretty special life vest, I guess, but they'll let you do that. But we're going to see a lot of that compressed gases, that's going to be a problem. What else we got? Coat hangers. Yeah, I remember the old days when we used to didn't do suitcases, we did hanging bags, right? And I had all that stuff in the coat hangers. Yeah, you can bring that on board, so coat hangers are fine. Coffee beans, liquid, only if it's sufficiently small quantities. 3.4 ounces is less than a half a cup, so your cup better be pretty darn empty. You can bring an empty thermos. You can bring an espresso maker, though, and you can make an espresso on the plane, I guess. There you go. Comic books, if there was a question about it. Compressed air guns, can't bring them on board, just like any other gun, so compressed air there is going to be fine. But the gun is going to be the problem. Concealer, that's makeup. Conditioner, that's hair care. Contact lens solution. Well, you can bring that in the carry-on if they're in the small ones. You can get the small bottles of saline, and I tend to do that on occasion. But for bigger trips, I might need a bigger bottle, and then we have to check it away. Contact lenses. I sometimes smuggle contact solution in through my contact case, but that's just a little drops, few drops here and there. You can bring cooked meat, seafood, and vegetable, but as long as they're not liquid, not a problem. They don't have any problem with bringing meat, cookies. Cooking spray, there is a compressed gas again. That's going to be a problem at that point. So no compressed gases. And so cooking spray is going to be out with that case. Corkscrews. I don't know what a corkscrew, a no blade corkscrew is. I think of the actual corkscrew, don't they have a sharp end of some sort? And so that's why it wouldn't be allowed in the carry-on, but apparently you can get one without a blade, and I don't know what that means. So if that's the way to go. But you can wear your spurs. Hey, that's always good. And bring your crackers. So that's saltines and Cheez-Its and things like that. Crampons and so to go along with your spurs if you got some mountain climbing to do in the on the plane. You can wear your crampons for that. Cream is a liquid. Dips and spreads, those are liquids, so you can bring some French dip or French onion dip. Always goes good with the potato chips, which you can bring. Cremated remains. Yeah, okay, apparently you can do that. So some airlines do not allow cremated remains in check bags even, so that's really interesting there. And so you need to find the right way to get your cremated remains through security and things like that. So read the instructions regarding cremated remains, but just note that they are allowed on the plane. You know, I think a lot of people want to keep them with them because, you know, there's the episode of Big Bang Theory where they lost the remains in the luggage, and so you wouldn't want to put that into the luggage just in case the luggage will get lost. Cricket bats, check them. That's it. Crochet hooks. Yeah, those are little pointy things, but on the other hand, they don't have sharp edges. They've got that little hook there, so apparently they're going to be okay in that respect. We're going to see knitting needles later, I think. But crowbars, yeah, you got to check that. Crutches, like canes, if you need them to walk, they can't really turn you down on that regard. You can bring your curling iron on board. And cutting board, you know, can't bring that in carry-ons, but I think, you know, cutting boards, a lot of them have handles and everything like that, and they turn into paddles at that point. So you can imagine why that's the case. What else do we got here? Cymbals. Oh, yeah, you can bring your cymbals on. To speak for the other passengers, please don't play them during the flight. That's all we would ask. Aerosol deodorant, of course, you can bring them in. These are liquids and they can be in small containers. I don't know what a liquid deodorant is. Is that like Febreze or something like that? When I think of deodorant, you got either the cans or you got the solids. They had cologne or perfume are separate items, and so it won't even be that. So I don't know exactly what's going on there. Liquid detergent, powder, pellet liquids, digital cameras. You could take your computer apart if you want and even bring through the pieces. Disinfecting wipes. Yeah, no, that's no problem. Now, disposable and Zippo lighters. You know, they usually have a big policy against flammable liquids, but they'll let you bring your lighters on board. That's it. Lighters with fuel are prohibited unless they adhere to DOT exemption, which allows up to 2 fuel lighters if properly enclosed in a DOT-approved case. So if you're going to bring your lighter on board, make ssure you figure out what a DOT-approved case really is. Disposable razors. Divot tools. Is this like the golfing thing where you fix your divot? Is that what it is? I'm guessing that's what that means, and those are perfectly allowed. Dried fruits, no drill bits on the carry-on. Drones. You can bring drones through the checkpoint, but you got to talk to the individual airline. But yeah, so drones are allowed to go through the security checkpoint. TSA will let drones on the plane, but the airline may not. So drumsticks, and in the course of a drum set, we've got a drum kit at home. So we could bring that through. Just once again, let's not play it. Okay, how about that? Dry ice. Yeah, no, most airlines will let you bring dry ice on in some way as long as it's properly packaged. And I guess you got to have it vented so that you don't get any buildup of carbon dioxide. But yeah, but that's one that needs approval, and you have to talk to them about it like that. But you can bring your duct tape, that's for sure. Not your dynamite. E-liquids, not even sure what that means. Easy pass transponders. That's a weird one because are easy pass transponders useful in places away from home? I don't understand. I mean, if I got an iPass up in Chicago and had the transponder for that, I don't think I need to do that anymore because I think they're all license plate based now. But if you used to get the iPass and you had the transponder in the dash, I don't think it would work if I took it someplace else, would it? It's like, so why would I be taking an Easy Pass transponder on the plane? That always seemed weird to me. I was like, I can't use my iPass transponder and take it out to Boston and get through the tolls out there, can I? Or out in Colorado? I don't think it would work that way. Electric blankets, electric fans. We have those fans that are battery operated. I bet we could use those on the plane. On the other hand, I tend to find planes exceptionally cold, but that's just me. Electronic cigarettes and vaping devices. Oh, please, I wish you'd check them because we don't want those things on the plane anyway. I get it that you need it in the concourse and something like that, but I'm not a big fan of that. Electronic toothbrush, so I can use my Sonicare and take that on check in, so I carry on, so I can actually carry on my bathroom bag in that way. EPIRB. Radio beacons. It's interesting that that's a airline permission type of thing. So, hey, if the airline goes down, you could turn EPIRB on and they could find you. Hey, that's a good thing. You would think, at least. Empty beverage container. Yeah, I brought plenty of empty water bottles and empty pop bottles on the plane. Yeah, drink it while I get there and bring it on the plane. Sure. Empty water bottle. Engine powered equipment, purge the fuel. That's going to be the case where you need to get rid of it, purge the fuel. If it's got residual fuel, you can see down below it says if there's any residual fuel, not at all. In fact, they can open up the gas tank. If they can smell anything, they can reject you right there. I wonder if this is the one that I think it was Jeff Foxworthy talked about, that he went through the line at TSA and they showed an example of things that were not allowed. And one of them was a chainsaw, and he's like, the reason they have it up there, these things have been actually confiscated by TSA. So somebody tried to bring a chainsaw through security. Undoubtedly, the reason is because there was gas left in the engine. That's what I'm guessing it is. English Christmas crackers. You can see I've actually looked on this one because I was trying to figure out what that was. I was puzzled for a very long time. Why would crackers be something? What are these English Christmas crackers? Then why are they being prohibited? And I realized these are not crackers like saltines or Cheez-Its or anything like that. What these are little poppets that you do. In the U.S. we have them on the 4th of July. The little poppers that you pull the string of the thing and the confetti pops out of it and things like that. That's what English Christmas crackers are. And so they end up being fireworks, and so that's why they're not going to be allowed in this respect. Well, right, we're already at more than 20 minutes here, so I tell you what, we're going to call this the end of part 1 of this video, and so go click on the link and find part 2, and we'll continue our discussion of things, what you can bring on a plane as determined by TSA.